In today's world, we often grow up believing that vitamins are always good, that more is better. We pop supplements into our mouths like candy, trusting the promise on the label without questioning what's really going on inside our bodies. Vitamin A, for instance, has long been celebrated for its benefits to vision, skin, and immune health. But what we don't always hear about, especially when it comes to our aging parents or grandparents, is the harm it can quietly do when taken in excess. For seniors whose bones are already growing more fragile with time, too much vitamin A, especially in the form of preformed retinol, can actually weaken the very foundation of their bodies. It slows down the cells that build new bone and speeds up the ones that break it down. Over time, it doesn't just deplete bone mass, it raises the risk of hip fractures, knee pain, and stiffness that turns everyday tasks into painful efforts. The worst part, it often happens silently, gradually, until one day standing up from a chair or walking down the stairs becomes something they dread. Our elders deserve better. After a lifetime of hard work, sacrifice, and love, they should be able to enjoy their golden years with strength and dignity. They should be able to walk without fear, move without pain, and rest in the comfort of a body that still supports them. That's why we need to be thoughtful, really thoughtful about the supplements we give or take, especially when it comes to something as seemingly harmless as a multivitamin, because sometimes doing less is doing more. In this country, we're raised with the mindset of take control of your health, and rightly so. We're told to be proactive, to supplement what we might be missing, to fill in the gaps that modern life, fast food, and indoor jobs have carved into our well-being. And one of the first things that always comes up in any conversation about aging, bone strength, or staying active is vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, the supposed miracle for strong bones and a better mood. But in our American pursuit of more is better, we often forget that balance, just like in life, is everything. Vitamin D, in its proper amount, is essential, but too much of it, taken without real understanding or supervision, becomes something else entirely. When you flood the body with high doses of vitamin D, day after day, month after month, often because someone online said it changed their life, you're doing more than just chasing health. You're inviting harm. Calcium begins to creep into places it shouldn't go: the blood, the soft tissues, the joints. The knees, once just quietly aging with time, now feel tight, inflamed, almost like they're turning to stone from the inside. Stiffness in the morning isn't just aging, it's a signal. Your body, so carefully built over decades, is trying to tell you it's overwhelmed. And the cruel irony? Many of our elderly, in trying to protect their bones with extra vitamin D, may be setting themselves up for discomfort, kidney strain, even bone pain, the very things they were trying to avoid. You see, growing old in America is a journey filled with choices, some empowering, others confusing. We are constantly bombarded with advice from influencers, companies, even well meaning neighbors. But when it comes to health, especially in the later chapters of life, wisdom often lies not in doing more, but in doing what's right. In listening to our bodies, in speaking with real doctors, and in understanding that more supplements don't always mean more life. Because the goal isn't just to live long, it's to walk with ease, to rise without pain, to enjoy the crisp autumn air without fear of falling. It's to hold a grandchild's hand and know your knees will carry you, steady and sure. That kind of strength doesn't come from a bottle with no guidance. It comes from knowledge, care, and the courage to say, I don't need more. I need enough. We've grown up believing in the magic of vitamin C. It's in our orange juice at breakfast, our chewable tablets during flu season, our childhood memories of our mothers insisting we drink one more glass to boost our immune system. Vitamin C, to most of us, is like an old friend: familiar, safe, and comforting. It's one of those things we take without a second thought, especially as we grow older and start to worry more about getting sick, staying strong, and holding on to vitality. But sometimes even old friends can surprise us. In the era of wellness fads and megadoses, it's become all too easy to go overboard. Take 1,000 milligrams a day, they say. Take two, it's water soluble, it'll flush out anyway. And so we do. We take more, thinking we're doing our bodies a favor. But what most people don't realize, especially the elderly who are trying so desperately to stay ahead of pain, inflammation, and decline, is that the body doesn't always welcome too much of a good thing. High doses of vitamin C don't just sit idly in the bloodstream waiting to help, they metabolize, they transform, and sometimes they leave behind something unwelcome: oxalate, a compound that can lead to kidney stones, joint pain, and cruelly inflammation in the very places we most need relief: the knees, the hips, the hands that once held babies and now reach slowly for the armrest of a chair. Imagine an elderly man, once vibrant and strong, who begins each morning with stiffness in his knees. He's been faithfully taking his vitamins, doubling up on C in the hope of staying resilient. But instead of feeling lighter, he feels heavier. Instead of stronger, more brittle, and he doesn't understand why. That's the quiet danger of excess. It doesn't come in a storm, it comes in whispers, in little aches, in the soft but steady erosion of comfort. In America, we love our quick fixes. We believe if something is good, then more of it must be better. But health doesn't work that way. Not really. It's more delicate, more nuanced. And when it comes to caring for our elders or caring for ourselves as we age, we have to remember that real wellness isn't built on quantity, but on wisdom. So maybe the answer isn't to flood our systems with more. Maybe it's to step back, ask better questions, and give our bodies the space to speak. To pause before we swallow the next pill and ask, is this helping or just a habit? Because in the end, true health isn't just about taking vitamins, it's about listening and respecting that sometimes less really is more. There's something comforting about the sound of a pill bottle rattling in an aging hand. It's the music of routine, of trying, of hope. A quiet battle being fought every morning at the kitchen table, long before the sun has fully stretched across the blinds. For many older Americans, taking supplements isn't just a habit, it's a ritual, a way of saying, I'm still in control, I'm still trying to live well. Vitamin E is often one of the most trusted names in that morning ritual. Marketed as a heart protector, a memory saver, an antioxidant warrior, it shines with the kind of promise we all want to believe in, especially as the years pass and the joints ache and memory sometimes plays hide and seek. Take more, it helps with aging, they say. And so we do. But the body is not a vault you can just fill with more and more hope. It's a garden, alive, delicate, and sensitive to every choice we make. And when vitamin E is taken in high doses over time, especially without real medical guidance, it can quietly tilt that garden out of balance. What many don't know is that this fat soluble vitamin doesn't simply wash away when we've had enough. It lingers, builds, accumulates. And when the levels creep too high, its gentle promise turns into something more dangerous. Blood thins, bruising becomes easier. And for those on blood thinners, a group that includes many older adults, it can lead to internal bleeding, even bleeding into the joints. Imagine an older woman, once full of energy, now wincing as she bends to tie her shoes. Not because of age alone, but because her knees have begun to swell without reason, because the fluid inside has been tinged with blood, not from injury, but from too much of what was once thought safe. Her heart was in the right place. She just didn't know the line between help and harm had already been crossed. There's something tragic about being hurt by the very thing you took to heal. And that's where the lesson lives. Not in fear, but in respect. Respect for the body, for its rhythms, for the complexity that no label on a bottle can ever truly explain. Health isn't found in the most pills, the biggest doses, or the latest trends. It's found in balance, in partnership with doctors who listen, in choosing enough over excess. So, to the aging soul sitting at the kitchen table, clutching your morning lineup of capsules, hear this. You don't need to take everything to stay strong. You just need to know what your body truly needs. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is choose less. In the quiet spaces of life, between the clink of a spoon against a teacup, the creak of a favorite chair, or the slow exhale of a tired breath, health is not defined by how many supplements sit on the shelf. It is defined by how well we listen to the body that has carried us, faithfully, through decades of storms and sunshine. There is a kind of innocence in the way we reach for vitamins. We do it out of love, for ourselves, for those we care for. We do it out of fear, too, fear of decline, of dependence, of disappearing slowly into the shadows of age. But love and fear, when not guided by understanding, can lead us down quiet, dangerous paths. And what was meant to strengthen can quietly weaken. What was taken to protect may harm. Vitamin A, when overdosed, can quietly steal strength from bones. Vitamin D in excess doesn't bring light, but calcification and stiffness where flexibility once lived. Vitamin C, taken recklessly, leaves behind sharp stones and inflamed joints. And vitamin E in high doses thins blood and thickens risk in places we never expected. None of these truths mean we should fear vitamins, but they do mean we should respect them. True health, especially in the later chapters of life, is not built on the number of capsules we consume, but on the conversations we dare to have with our doctors, with our families, with ourselves. It is found in knowing what is enough. To age gracefully is not to chase youth at any cost, but to honor the wisdom of the body. To wake each morning not wondering what more to add, but asking instead, what can I simplify? What is truly serving me? Because in the end, the goal is not just to live longer. The goal is to rise from the chair without pain, to walk into the garden without fear, to dance, however slowly, with joy still pulsing in the bones. That is health. That is the miracle. And it cannot be bottled.